For life, for life. Oh yeah!
Alright guys, I just ran across this piece of news and had to bring you all a quick TK double header on this lovely Sunday night, almost Monday morning, as I burn through the midnight oil here. For you guys watching the channel, I hope you're all having a great one. Yes, old Tony keeps bringing the content for us as we get to sit back and dissect how unprofessional and childish he is on a far too often basis. And today he's back at it on social media. Now, anyone that knows me knows that I'm not a Facebook or Instagram guy, and definitely not a Twitter guy or X or whatever it is that they're calling that circus over there these days. But every once in a while, the delusional prick that is Tony Khan gives us some really good free entertainment on Twitter, usually by making himself look like a complete clown. Now, he's been better about that lately, but it looks like Twitter and Tony is back in the habit, and apparently he's looking to bully Glenn Gilberti, WCW's legendary, many would say legendary, definitely memorable, which is more than what 80% of the AEW roster can say for themselves. Now, this is a big step up for Tony, bullying Disco Inferno on Twitter over the usual 2 or 3 follower mark that he's used to. But this one, Tony left himself open to it. He asked how fans feel on the toxic media platform known now as X. And Disco Inferno, current co-host of popular wrestling podcast Keeping It 100 with his buddy Conan, also a former competitor and lifelong pro wrestling fan, simply answered the question with what many of us think: like the shows need a reset. Well, here is the response that weasel, scumbag, bully, sorry-ass excuse of a booker Tony Khan said in return. Like the true professional in the middle of crucial television deal discussions that the fate of his company hangs in. This is what he's worried about, is getting in Twitter fights with Disco Inferno. And this is his quote from Tony Khan. This is how he thinks about Disco Inferno. The belief you're a parasite unites the entire pro wrestling community. What a nerd. Most of the other channels on YouTube that love to kiss your ass may think that was clever, but it was typed like a true loser. Also, speak for yourself, buddy. It looks like you're the parasite, living out his little boy dreams on daddy's dime and killing the freaking pro wrestling business while you do it. The business that guys like Disco Inferno help to maintain. Now, the AEW guys in the back, they like to joke about how Disco never drew a dime, I assume because he doesn't kiss their asses on his show. Well, we see what those bland, samey, vanilla midgets over there draw. And it sure as hell a lot less eyeballs on TVs and asses in seats than when Disco was in the ring. Even in the very dying days of WCW. Disco has also made me laugh from being funny and entertaining, both as a child watching him in the ring and as an adult listening to him on his show, Keeping It 100. Tony, you've also made me laugh plenty, but it's usually from how big of a clueless buffoon you are. I think that's the only time I've laughed at you. It's because you were stupid. Disco Inferno was talented enough to maintain a successful career in the business for, almost 2 decades. He was involved in the ring and backstage with WCW and then TNA. And now he's on several successful pro wrestling podcasts, so far from irrelevant. And the fact that you take the time to not only respond, but berate him as you do so, completely contradicts your accusation of irrelevancy, pal. I'm going to give you a very fair warning because I'm sure WB has already heard about this latest social media gaffe from you, and a long line of looking like an unprofessional fool. Keep ignoring all of your detractors and live in your isolated echo chamber that is the empty mind of TK until you are truly the irrelevant one.